Welcome back to another episode of Are We Nerds with your host, Emily, and
Emily.
featuring
Jenny!
round of applause for Chitty. This is so exciting. Y'all asked for guests. We're bringing guests. They are here, and we're excited. So, once again.
And we're in costumes.
Oh, happy Halloween!
Happy
Halloween! Woo!
I hope everyone will be doing something fun for Halloween, because I know we will. It's not even Halloween like weekend or week. It's like Halloween month for us. So
Yes.
I'm excited.
First cosplay of the month. Down.
Right now? Oh, yeah. This is
right now.
I'm a Katsuki member, if y'all couldn't tell.
Kanjiro.
Kamaboko.
Kamaboku.
I'm Misato from Evangelion.
It's not get copyrighted now. It's not.
Anyways.
Yeah, I was like more than 10 seconds.
Today's episode is special already since we have our editor, Ginny, on the podcast.
Sorry. What Emily, you were talking about in the last episode about how my real name in the Discord is like my name, like my user. It's not. It's my other nickname.
Yeah, but it's closer to your real name than Chinny is.
It's like a step closer, but she's still hidden in disguise.
No one knows her name.
Except me.
And me.
Anyways, to start this episode, there's no anime news. That's kind of new as well, but that's because we're recording way earlier than we usually do, because we're going to be super busy, but we wanted to put out content for you guys because we care about you. And it's Halloween.
We're gonna be in Disney, living it up with the mouse, and then we're gonna be anime weekend, living it up with other anime people. And I don't know what Chinny said, but it was funny. And we're gonna have a Halloween party. It's gonna be fun. And yeah.
So, I mean, you won't be getting any anime news in this episode, but you can probably check it out on our Instagram, because we'll post there like a little list of things we've seen, because I would still like to give you guys updates on what's happening in the anime nerd world. So there you go. But Emily, or Misato?
Misato.
Misato. What's this episode
I can't
about?
take you seriously. I can't take you seriously with the glasses.
I think they're cool.
I keep looking at you and I'm like, oh my god.
They gotta come on.
Do I know they're cool?
Okay, they're just not.
You guys like looking at my eyes? Oh my god, she's a whole new person. Who are you?
I was like, the Matrix. Like Neo.
Like,
bullets just flying by.
What would have been the movie if Hadrio did not get stabbed?
Oh, honestly, no. That scene in the movie where he keeps like, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet, but like,
you should.
Where have we been? Where he keeps like killing himself. That's low-key like a Matrix thing. That's so Matrix.
Hadrio is Neo from the Matrix, confirmed.
Anyways, Misato, what is this episode about?
This episode is spooky anime/anime movie that you should watch during this spooky season. That's it. That's what it is. Ooh.
So we decided to watch Paprika because we voted on that movie, and then I believe you said that a professor you had last semester had that on their like recommended movie list or something.
Yeah.
So why not watch it? And said movie is Paprika.
Wow.
Oh my god, Paprika. The description of this movie is that when a machine that allows therapists to enter their patients' dreams is stolen, all hell breaks loose. Only a young female therapist, Paprika, can stop it. What did y'all think about the movie?
You can go first, Ginny.
Crazy.
It was really weird.
It's very like what's it called, like psychological thriller, but also just very creepy. Like it wasn't like scary, like jump scare, but the things that they were like doing and like talking about was just really creepy.
It was like a scary ick. There was
Yes.
like scenes that would
Yeah.
happen where you're just like, oh, don't like that. Like there's this one scene where this guy's like doing something to Paprika and it's all like in the dream and everything. And you're just like,
That was
that's weird. Like that's creepy.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily spooky because I feel like when we say spooky, I'm thinking like paranormal type stuff. This is more just like creepy, icky, but interesting in the fact that like I didn't know what was necessarily happening most of the time because everything was so like it was just so different. Like a very different type of vibe compared to like what I usually watch. So I was trying to process what was happening, but then the movie was moving very quickly. And Paprika was just
she was just hopping dreams.
she was
bro.
just hopping dreams. She was just trying to figure out what was happening and if it's reality or not. Like
Like Condrio in the movie. Great callback.
I think this movie is a movie that you'd have to watch like multiple times to really understand what the hell is going on. Because I was watching it and I was like, all I could think about the entire time was what the hell is going on. And I just don't remember. I remember like the spooky little parts where it was just like creepy. Like you guys said, it wasn't necessarily a scary movie, but it was just very like unsettling, I guess.
yeah,
So
I would agree.
the best way to describe it. But like I remember the unsettling parts, but I don't remember like it was just really confusing because they kept hopping from dream to dream and then they would go like back and exactly the way I'm badly describing this is how like little I remember about the actual plot of this film. But it was interesting.
It was interesting. I think it was really hard, especially for like a first watch. Like I didn't understand really like what they were trying to do or like who the bad guy was in this movie.
I don't think we even ever found out.
I had a lot more questions left at the end than I did have answers. I'm still confused. I feel like even if I watched it a second or third time, I would still be confused. But the animation looked cool.
It was so cool. They did like camera spins. Like they did camera spins and they did like super cool shots. Because remember, there's a scene in the movie where one of the guys and Paprika are in like a movie theater and they're talking about like shot reverse shots. And then as they're talking about it cinematically or like animated wise, they're like doing what they're talking about. And it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me understand why my film professor was like, you should watch this movie.
Yeah, it makes sense that the film is very well acclaimed because it is a like within all the confusion, it's still a really good film, like cinematically speaking. So, yeah.
It would be interesting, or I thought it was interesting that like when the mind machine thing would take over these patients or people, that in the dream they'd be doing this one thing, like let's say they're running in their dream and they're hopping over like a box, but then in the real world they're like hopping over their apartment balcony that's like on the 26th floor, like they're going to die, like they don't know what they're doing because they're so like deep into their dream that like this machine has like put them in. So I thought that was interesting. It reminds me of that scene in Anastasia where she's dreaming on the boat and she thinks she's dancing with her dad or something and her siblings, but she's actually like on deck and there's a huge storm happening and like water splashing everywhere and she can like fall overboard. But yeah, Paprika, I mean, I feel like I can't rate it right now just because I'm so confused still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it is kind of like up to interpretation, I feel like, with it not really having like a very solid like storyline. It kind of felt not like really straight with the point of what they were trying to do, more like things were happening, especially since like the dream world is a very interpretive thing for people in real life. Maybe that's what was happening there as well. But also with the dreams, since it is for like they're used for like therapists and like mental patients and all that stuff to like diagnose. Do you get what I'm putting down? I don't even know what I'm putting down because the movie was confusing. But animation wise, I really liked it and I liked the voice acting and it was just very weird, but in a good way. Yeah.
Well, moving on from Paprika, we're gonna talk about anime shows now.
You can give like your opinion on it.
I gave my opinion on it. I was confused. I thought it was good, but I was confused.
Good but confused.
Yeah.
That's Paprika. The description seems like very straight to the point about the movie, like what she's doing, but then the movie itself is confusing. There's a lot to think about, but then you don't have the time to think about it.
There's a lot of thought and no think.
Yeah. No processing. No time to process.
Just pop, pop, pop.
So yeah, like I said, it leaves you with more questions than answers, but I think people should still check it out because maybe they'll understand it better. I don't know. It's up to the person, but yeah, Paprika. Anyways. Oh, and one of the dudes was Blackbeard's like voice actor, so I was thinking about that the whole time. I was like, that's Blackbeard. And I hate Blackbeard.
Blackbeard sucks.
Yeah, Blackbeard
He's the
sucks.
worst.
Bringing it back to One Piece, but yeah. Anyways, your anime is the first one on said list, Emily. So
yes. So I'm gonna talk about Dead Man Wonderland. So the description of Dead Man Wonderland is Gonta is convicted of a crime he didn't commit. He's locked up in Dead Man Wonderland where prisoners are forced to fight gladiator battles for tourists. Okay, I'm gonna be straight like forward. I didn't finish it. I'm not done with the anime, but I'm like pretty deep into it. It's only 12 episodes, but I'm just not done with it. However, I've watched enough to form an opinion on it. What?
That's it.
All right. Good job, Emily.
That's literally, I'm watching it and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Not in like this is bad. Like, it's really good. It's really, really good, actually. I really enjoy it. But it's just like, how did someone come up with this concept and how am I watching this right now? Like, it's so crazy. The whole, like, first of all, a paranormal supernatural thing, spoiler alert, murders an entire classroom but one person. And then that one person is convicted for the crime. He's in middle school. Yeah, he's young. But literally kills his entire class. He doesn't kill his entire class, but he gets convicted of killing his entire class. Gets a lawyer. The lawyer's sketchy. And you find out that the lawyer isn't even he's the head man of Dead Man Wonderland. And this prison, Dead Man Wonderland, these people are literally like test subjects. Like, they have a collar. And if you don't eat this candy every 3 days, the collar's gonna kill you. And you just, like, explode in front of people. And, like, we've seen the people explode. So it's just such a crazy concept. And then the fact that, like, they have, like, a relay race is one of, like, the first things you see in the show. And the relay race is, like, a deadly relay race. And basically, if you fall, you're dying in a way. Like, a very gruesome way. But there are people watching it, and they think it's an act. That's the crazy part. Like, how do people come up with this? Like, that's crazy. It's really good, though. Not scary in the way of, like... I mean... I don't find it particularly scary. I find it unsettling, I guess would be a better way for me to describe it. It's not like jump scare.
I feel like it's like unsettling and like gruesome and like gory and thriller like, but it's not scary like because when I watched it, it wasn't really scary to me because it's very like unrealistic with like what's happening.
And there's
Like I
so
know like
many
it's not real like it's not unrealistic that like people suck and like come up with things
yeah.
like the system, but it is like unrealistic at the same time with like the whole anime itself and the concept. But like, and you brought up the candy. Honestly, the candies look pretty good. It reminds me of the like little strawberry candies.
I'm no.
The
So
expansions?
Yeah.
I'm so dead.
it's good. I like it. I like it. There's a lot of twists and turns in it. So it really takes you through a whole journey. And you like some characters and then you figure out things that these characters are doing. It's really like every man for himself, but they're connected in a way. It's wild. It's super interesting. I highly recommend watching it.
I liked when they would like tell what the characters like crimes were, like why they were in there. Because sometimes I'd be like, oh my god, and then they would die, and I'd be like, well, dang,
Sucks.
kind of deserved it though. You like murdered or like I don't know, like women or whatever. Like I can't really necessarily remember the crimes, but they were bad. If you're in Dead Man Wonderland, you did bad things, except that kid.
Jenny, I think you should watch this. I think you would like it.
I think you would like it. Speaking about something I think you like or would like, I think you would like Parasite.
Segway.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you what Parasite's about, Chinny and audience
And Emily.
and Emily. So
Oh, I'm just here.
All right, this is the description. They arrived in silence and darkness, descending from the skies with a hunger for human flesh.
Why is it so poetic? What?
Parasites.
Like slam poetry.
Oh my
Parasite.
gosh.
So, like, these are alien creatures that must invade and take control of a human host to survive. Like a parasite. That's so crazy. But, you know, now they've come to Earth. No one knows their secret except high school student Shinichi Izumi, whose right hand has been invaded by an alien parasite. Shinichi Migi? Yes, that's how you say it. That's the parasite that's in him. Begrudgingly form a friendship and find themselves caught in the middle of a war between humans and parasites. The way that the story went is kind of like how I wanted Death Note to be for me. I don't know how to describe that yet, but let me get back to that. But just ponder that for a second. But this is only 24 episodes. There's only one season. I watched this on Crunchyroll. So I don't know where else you can watch this on, but maybe Hulu or something like that. But it's definitely on Crunchyroll. But yeah, it's just like this, 17-year-old dude in high school. He's not like anything like great. He's not popular or like being bullied or anything. He's just pretty normal. And then he's just listening to music at night because he's all angsty. And then this parasite crawls into him. It's so gross. And like takes over his hand because they usually take over the brain and like make the human their host. And then the human can do all this like crazy shit like weapons for arms or whatnot and like morph into things. And he controlled it in his right arm. So Miggy's there just like, what is life on Earth? And he's like, yo, get out of my hand. But it's a very interesting anime because it goes into like what humans are, why humans are bad, why humans are good, like what makes humans humans and what makes like life on Earth enjoyable and not enjoyable. So it's interesting to see a human teach a parasite about humans, but then they both together learn about life. It's very like poetic, but also like very gruesome because they'd be like slicing up people and other parasites would be killing people. And it was very bloody. And it was funny because, spoiler, he looks very like, I guess it's kind of like how Peter Parker was at the beginning before he got his powers. Like he looked like a nerd, but then,
Scrawny.
yeah, but then like, you know, how Peter Parker got bit. What's his face got a parasite in him. They turned good looking. So it's very eventful anime. There's lots of questions as well with that, and it like leads you down different paths and different characters and what they're doing and how they're helping him or not helping him, wanting to kill him, not wanting to kill him. I don't know if I necessarily liked how the anime ended. Felt like it could have been more dramatic to me, but it was still pretty good. I enjoyed it. This was like one where I tried to pick it up in high school and I wasn't vibing with it. And then, like everything, the pandemic hit and then I picked it up again. And then I binge watched it. And I really enjoyed it. So I think it's a good anime that people should watch. It is eventful. It is gory. Not necessarily spooky. But it is like interesting, thriller, psychological. Makes you think. So, yeah. That's mine. I'm also watching another. I also think you would like this one. It's like Final Destination in an anime, but it's like dealing with just a classroom. Classroom 3.
I remember my sister watching it, but I never watched it.
It's not necessarily a thing that I usually watch, because this isn't like the type of genre or genres that I partake in. But it has been interesting to watch it and go like, what is happening? I have so many questions. Like, is this person alive? Is this person not alive? Who are they? But it's very weird. But this is the description. The school held a secret that no one must speak of. Spring 1998. That's it. I already have questions, like before even watching it. The opening is a bop. It's a pretty good song. I usually skip the opening after watching the first time, but I listen to this every episode because I'm just like, that type of thing. And I hate dolls. If you are afraid of dolls, this anime might not be for you because it shows them a lot. They're freaky as hell. I don't like looking at them. They keep showing them because they're important to the story, but I'm just like, could go without it. I hate dolls. And then who the heck is this girl? I don't know who she is. Is she dead? Did she die? Did she even exist? I don't know what's happening. Then the main dude asks too many questions. This is why people are dying, because he's a chismoso. Literally. I was like, this would be a perfect world if you didn't ask questions. Now people are dying. And you might die. I don't know. But yeah. It's like Final Destination. Like this one girl, she fell downstairs. The umbrella jabs her in her throat.
Yummy.
Goes through the other side of her neck.
Yummy in my tummy.
And the other death, it was so nasty. This is my worst fear. The elevator breaks. She's free falling from the roof to the basement at this hospital. It impacts. Elevator crushes itself. Crushes her. That is my worst fear. I have so many nightmares of free falling in an elevator that when I was watching that, I was like,
yeah,
this could happen to me. I could be crushed.
Me when the parking deck elevator was broken.
That was my worst fear because I'm like, what? I only have a little bit of water, peanut butter crackers, or like, that's all I have to survive if I'm ever stuck in an elevator for like more than an hour. What if I have to pee? I have to nervous pee a lot.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, if this elevator stops working, I'm stuck with everybody in this elevator.
Like, what if someone stinks so bad and then I have to like sit in there?
And that is why I take the stairs.
But one thing that I don't like about the anime so far is that, like, he does ask a lot of questions, but like he has the right to do so because the school and his classroom especially is being very sketch, not telling him things and like stuff's happening. But like if they do tell him, then it seems like the curse will activate and then like kill people that are affiliated with the classroom. But I don't know. It's good. I'm enjoying it. And I think it's funny because the ending song is like super like cheerful and nice and I'm like that person's dead. That person's dead. Like it's just kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen.
I love Jujutsu Kaisen.
The ending was a bop in Jujutsu Kaisen.
I don't remember what the ending was. But I remember they got us a Junpei in the intro. I'm not gonna tell it.
What is the ending song?
Tokyo freezing.
Da, da, da,
That sounds
that.
to the.
I can't believe y'all forgot that. Shame on you.
Anyways, what is your anime you're bringing forward?
My anime is Death Note. Death Note is a classic. If you haven't watched it, you need to. I think it's like 50 episodes, 24,
37.
37 episodes. Dun, dun, dun.
Between.
Death Note is a story that follows Light Yagami, who is the most attractive person in the school, and he is the smartest person in Japan, basically. And he's like walking around, and then he's like, "Oh, there's a notebook on the floor." Turns out that this notebook is a death note that's associated with their like what would you call like a Shinigami? It's like a god of death. And
It's like a soul, like a reaper, like a ghost reaper.
I think it's god of death. I think that's what they say in the show. But he is like a god of death. And the book has the power to kill anybody whose name is written in it. And the story basically follows him using the book, in his opinion, for good, because he uses it to kill criminals.
I mean, yeah.
It's a great anime. It starts this whole case where everybody's trying to find out who he is, and he goes by the name Kira, which is his like alias, because he doesn't like show his face. A lot of plot twists, a lot of interesting details, a lot of plot twists between characters, and then like you're connecting ties between characters to like events that are going on in the show itself. So it's really interesting, really good. The ending was very, very fun, very interesting, very one-uppy, as it should be. And that's all I will say. Because somebody hasn't finished it.
I think I'm on episode 20 something. But it would be funny because I'd be posting, I'm like, y'all, I don't know if I'm vibing with Death Note. Like, I feel so bad that I wasn't vibing with it. Because this is like the second or third time that I've tried picking it up. And this is the farthest I've gotten repicking it up. And it is good. Like, it's not a bad anime. I really enjoyed watching it at like some points. But then sometimes I felt like it was, to me, dragging on a little bit too long into some certain like aspects of the anime. I don't know, to me, but that's just like how my brain works. And I needed to get like to the point kind of quickly.
Yeah.
Because like when it comes to like shonen or something, like they're pretty long anime, but I feel like since so much stuff is happening in each episode, like fights and like all that type of stuff, that like I can watch long series of it. But with things like Death Note or Parasite, where it's more like psychological and you have to like use your brain.
Yeah, you're like
think about
solving
stuff.
the case as like Kira's dealing with it and the police force is dealing with it. So you as like the audience are like in both stories, so you're getting like both sides. And so you know information that some characters don't, which makes it really interesting.
Yeah, so like Kira, like Light, he'll be doing things that are that we're watching and we know how he's tricking the police or how he's tricking Elle and that type of stuff. But then on the other hand, we're also seeing how the police are dealing with what Kira's doing
And preventing
and
stuff.
preventing stuff from happening. So it's kind of like a tug of war between them. It's very like a lot to think about at the same time, like what's happening in that moment, but also thinking ahead because they think ahead a lot, especially Light and Elle. Like they're literally like neck to neck with each other because they're both like the smartest people in this series. So it's interesting to see how both of them are like
Thinking.
like battle of the wits with them. And to me, at that moment, it was too much for my brain. I needed to watch, I guess, something more simpler or whatnot. I think what it was like, huh?
I said I'm interjecting. It wasn't that you needed to watch anything simpler because you didn't watch anything at all.
That too. It's honestly been like probably since Death Note, whenever I was watching that, probably like February, March, May.
I let it slide because I think everybody has just one anime that they either can't get into or it takes forever for them to watch. Mine was Bungo Stray Dogs, and they're coming out with another season. So
It looked good though. I did watch the trailer.
Said it. I'm waiting for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I do eventually want to finish Death Note because
it's a classic.
It is a class. It's like one I feel like I need to finish, but also I don't want to feel defeated, as in like never pick it back up because I am like close to finishing it. I think I'm on like episode 22 or something out of 37. Like I can finish it, but I've been in like a watching funk, so I'm kind of surprised by myself that I have watched like half of another so far in like this like a span of whatnot. That's due to this podcast. So thank me and you and you.
I don't think I've watched anime since like Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan. I think I'm so upset about like how Attack on Titan is still going that I'm just like I can't watch another show right
Till it's finished.
Yeah.
It's like blocking you. It's like you're hitting the wall. It's just like final season, final season, final season. Where is it at? But
Cannot relate.
I understand that.
I understand, but I cannot relate. I've been watching so much.
I think
don't have time.
With this October season coming out with everything, I think that'll help me get back on track. And it feels good because it's not like something I have to binge. I think I'm intimidated by binging now because it just makes me feel bad. Like I feel bad sitting down for like a long time watching stuff now. But I feel good since stuff is coming out like basically every day of the week. But it's like one episode. Side note, Emily, we never finished Bob Psycho. We never finished that episode. We had like 5 minutes left.
Oh gosh, I need to watch that. I haven't watched Spy Family or Blue Lock today. I've only watched My Hero, which that My Hero episode, for all of our listeners, it was the 3rd episode of season 6. Oh my gosh, why was I almost crying? I was like sitting there painting my Hidaikoto for my cosplay, and I was like,
what happened, without like spoiling, plays into like what is good. Like who is a good person? Or like even though you have the title of a good person like a hero, does that automatically make you good?
That's season what was just happening. So good. The season
or
is
even if
so
you're
good.
A bad person, labeled as a bad person, like a villain or something, like are you fully a villain? Like, or do you still have good aspects to you? Like what you believe in? What you believe like as a villain, is everything that you believe in bad?
This season
interpretation.
Sounds like I'm in like philosophy.
Season is just superior. Season is so good. The season is so good.
Yeah, I agree. Critical thinking.
What a no thing.
Yeah, what the heck?
That's okay.
It's not okay.
Yeah. I will say, I think you'll like the second Blue Lock episode better than the first because it is starting to like kick off. And then Spy Family, obviously, so good every episode. So
nothing can go wrong with Spy Family. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about Blue Lock.
think you and little bro would like watching that together.
I think Chainsaw. Y'all talked about Chainsaw Man already, right?
Oh, you should tell the audience what you thought about episode 1.
Yeah.
Great. I cried. Did not expect to cry. So I sobbed, Emily. Sobbed my eyes out. And Brenda and Tino, they were chilling. And I didn't know Brenda read the manga. She was just sitting there. She was like, "Is this gonna be like the manga?" He was like, "Oh, I don't know." So she was like, "The manga was so sad." So I'm just like, "Why is it sad? It's a man who is a chainsaw." And then I'm watching it and I'm like, "Oh my god, Vegeta!" And then
Puchita.
oh my god, Vegeta.
Uh,
It was really sad. I literally had to grab tissues. Me and Brenda had to grab tissues, and she had just gotten her lashes done too, so it was not good. And then, who was it? Carlos got there right when we were sobbing our eyes out. So I opened the door, and I'm just like,
hey,
"Hi."
oh my god.
He's just like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "We're watching a show right now."
You know what's funny though? Okay, before I get into what I was thinking, I was looking at volume 1 of Chainsaw Man because I was trying to find a coat online for Makima, which I did. I'm gonna order that. But I was looking at it and then I was like, while I'm looking at this book, let me see like where episode 1 left off. Thinking I don't know. It couldn't just be one chapter.
Just one chapter.
It's just the first chapter, which
Yeah.
I'm just thinking in my head. I'm like, now at this point, I'm like, there's no way in 12 episodes that they could animate all 11.
Well, granted, I will say, chapter 1 is way longer than all the other chapters. Like, substantially longer. Like, because I read the manga, like, right after watching episode 1, and chapter 1 was, like, if you're looking on the manga app, it's, like, 50-something odd things, and all the rest of them are, like, 20. So I will say, chapter 1 is the longest chapter of the series, besides one other chapter that comes in like the end of part 1, which is like that chapter. So
because I know that they said that there's also going to be like anime exclusive fights that are not like in the manga.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how like if like is it just one anime exclusive fight? Is it anime exclusive fights? Like, how much will that add on, like, to the episodes? That's what I'm curious about. And just where this is going to go.
I don't think we're going to get through all 11 volumes.
Be Attack on Titan all over again.
But
I think so.
Then I was on the phone with Eric and Dana because we were all, like, geeking out about, like, Bleach, the episode. And then we started talking about Chainsaw Man. And, like, we were having that discussion. And then, because... I mean, Chainsaw Man part 1, the whole manga, it's only 97 chapters. And in the Jujutsu Kaisen, with how they did it, not saying that the manga chapters are like the same length or going in depth to like the same type of thing, but I believe the first season for Jujutsu Kaisen was 24 episodes, and it went to like chapter 69 in Jujutsu Kaisen. So it got pretty far into it. So I'm just curious to see like what curious to see like what is being animated since I have read it. I think you would like it.
What are we talking about?
Chainsaw Man.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would like part 2 more than part 1. Just because we're kind of the same.
Give me this semester and then I'll read everything. I just need to get past literally just the month of October. October.
It's gonna be like the memes of those like shining body people where it's just to be like, I'm free, and then like
I made a list of all the anime I'm behind on that isn't like counting the new releases because I'm watching all the new releases as they come out, but like all the anime and manga that I'm behind on, so that when December rolls around and I'm done with the semester, I'm just gonna go down that list and catch up with everything before the next semester starts.
A list. I don't know where that list went, so I'm gonna have to make another. I don't think I'm pretty good on catching up on my manga, just because it's like if I forget about it, it's only like 4 chapters whenever I like find myself reading it again. I'm like, oh, okay. But I think that's just because like the manga authors the manga creators in Shonen Jump, they usually like take breaks or like do bi-weekly, or they'll do a weekly release for a couple bit. What?
It's like
I'm having a stroke or something. What is happening?
it's like when you're reading like a Wattpad or something. It's like the author's note at the bottom. Hey guys, sorry, English isn't really my first language, but I'm gonna do my best.
Oh, you know English.
Or then it's like, author's note. I got into a really bad car accident, but like I'm still gonna upload this week. Don't even worry.
My fingers still work, but both my legs are broken. Don't worry.
About it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any other suggestions, just because this is kind of like me stepping into this genre. I know Brenda mentioned the Junji Ito collection, and you sent me news about it.
Yeah, they're doing something on Netflix with it. Like they're animating, I think, the whole thing.
I don't know how I feel about Netflix doing something.
Netflix has been doing pretty decent with their animes recently.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk was really
Komi
good. I like
can't-
the animation.
Komi Can't Communicate was really good.
But yeah, I know Paprika. Some honorary. Do you guys want to do like honorary mentions then?
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
do.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, if we list off stuff that you guys have read or watched, like, write in the description below, or like join our Discord and like put it in the anime
Not
manga chat.
description. The
Section below.
Yeah, or the YouTube.
You said
or the
description.
comment
comment
section.
section, not
Not the
description. Because that's my
Anyway.
box.
Anyways, if you know what we're talking about when she lists off some stuff, like, just tell us if they're good or not. You can join our Discord and go into the anime and manga text channel, and then just like
Give off
recommendations as well, because like we're totally down for like watching and checking out stuff. So
Yeah. I think a really big honorary one is Corpse Party. Last time I remember watching it, it was like not even like 10 episodes. It's that one I will say is scary, in my opinion. It's really weird. It follows like a group of kids. They do like a ritual, then they get like sucked into like this world where they have to like find their way out. It's really creepy. Assassination Classroom was also listed as a horror genre. It was very interesting.
that's interesting.
There's that one. I'm reading this manga called Jujika no Rokunin. Very explicit, very trigger warning. It's really just unsettling because it, like Emily was saying, like real life situations happen, and then it's just like really gross. So basically, this guy, he was like in elementary school, and then this group of bullies like killed his family. Like they murder his family.
Oh my
So he grows up and then he's like, I'm gonna take revenge on all these people. And he does in the worst way possible.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't think it would ever get animated just because of how gruesome it is. But it's a fun story to follow, I guess. In a very weird off sense. Another anime that we mentioned previously in previous podcasts, Erase. Also a classic psychological thriller.
So scary. So scary. For me, that shit is scary. Not because there's anything really gruesome in the anime, just because the psychological factor and serial killers, that's freaky. And the killer is freaky. You cannot say that killer is not freaky.
He is freaky.
Exactly.
Because he looks very like just reminds me of Ted Bundy, when people would be like, he's good looking, like he's a nice guy, like he's attractive, he would never do anything, and then he did everything.
Yes.
Like the dude, he's very good looking, he just doesn't look like he would do what he did, and
then he
did. So
I know Erase, they have a live action version. Netflix made it, but it's like all Japanese cast. I've never watched it though, but it looks really interesting. So maybe you guys can check that out and tell me how it goes.